All right, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Yahweh Kakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule and teach well. And I want to say Shalom to the hopeful elect. This is the brother Karat is out back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai Shai. And talk about missiles, and we're going to talk about the famine that's coming, okay? I got two articles that I'm going to read through the spirit. And I'm going to start off with the scriptures first. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 1. Speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I have put in thy mouth, saith Yahweh Shemel Shai. So the word prophecy, all right, is to prophesy means to say before, all right? Prophecy is things that's happened that was written in the past within these scriptures, and it's coming about as time as time progresses, okay? And we're speaking these words, okay? We're speaking we're speaking of the prophecies about famine that's coming. We're speaking of prophecies about the CH to the I to the P, okay? We're speaking about thermonuclear war, okay? That's written in the scriptures as the Lord's arrows, okay? Or his army. If you can read that in Joel, okay, the 2nd chapter. And Lord will get there. All right, and we read about the return, as this is also within prophecy, the return of Yahweh Shai, okay? All right, so we are commanded to speak those things. It says that cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. That means they're going to come to pass, okay? Fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. All right, we're going to have scoffers come about. We're going to have people that don't believe. Yahweh Shemel Shai say they're 2 cents, but we can't let that affect us moving in this truth, right? It says, for all unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, okay? And if you read Revelation, the 21st chapter, and I believe it's the 8th verse, it tells you what's going to happen to those that are unfaithful, and they're going to burn in that fire that's coming via nuclear missiles, which we are prophesying about, okay? Verse 5 is the point. It says, behold, saith the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, and all those going to plague that the Lord is bringing, okay? As well as these diseases that Esau Edom is cooking up in the lab, all right, and portraying to the world this, that, and the third in regards to them, okay? But they all come from the hand of Yahweh Shemel Shai. But the first one we're going to hit on is famine, all right? All right, so the first one we're going to hit on is famine, and this is a news article from UN Food. From The Hill, which is this, and the app that I got is this article is from Newsbreak, okay? But this article comes from The Hill, all right? And it says, UN warns of food catastrophe, all right? It said the United Nations is warning of the potentially devastating impact of Russia's invasion of Ukraine on global access to food. All right, so let me speak on that for a little bit. All right, the reason that all these, this is me speaking as a man. All right, the reason that all these, this food shortage is coming. All right, our lack of access to food, as the article is going to say, is because these nations are slapping sanctions on these other nations, like America slapping sanctions on Russia and vice versa. Okay, and then they're trying to say that it's because of this war. All right. And they may have something to do with it as well, all right? But it also goes into the sanctions that these nations are slapping on each other, okay? All right, it says UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said on Wednesday during remarks in New York, that for people around the world, the war, together with other crises, is threatening to unleash unprecedented wave of hunger and destitution. All right, so I'm going to look up this word destitution. I also want to get the word catastrophe. All right, this is destitution. It says poverty so extreme that one lacks the means to provide for oneself. All right, and that's coming to the point just not just because of, well, not in the sense of famine, but it's coming in the sense of these rising gas prices. Okay, it's coming. That's the only other point I could really think of. All right. And then, these people not really wanting to work, and these jobs going to have to shut down because people not really wanting to work. All right. But it's going to destitution again goes into poverty so extreme that one lacks the means to provide for oneself. And it's going to be that way when Esau Edom throws that CHIP at you, man. Okay. You're not going to be able to provide for yourself, so you're going to be without. But in those times, all right, the Lord is going to, protect his people, his elect, his saints at that time. Okay, then the rest of Israel is going to be safe in the kingdom. All right. Let me get this word for catastrophe. All right, this is the word for catastrophe. It says an event causing great and often sudden damage or suffering, a disaster. All right, and it's this food famine. Okay, all right, that's being uh, pushed in the news, orchestrated. All right, manufactured is a catastrophe. All right, and it's brought on by the Lord. All right, it says food prices are at a near record highs. Are at near record highs. Fertilization prices have more than double, sounding an alarm everywhere, and that's because of these sanctions that these nations are putting on each other. All right, and the war. All right, without fertilizers, shortages will spread from corn and to wheat, to all staple crops, including rice. It's like you with a devastating impact on billions of people in Asia and South America too. This year's food crisis is about lack of access. All right, so what's going on now is in regards to lack of access. All right, further read into this article. All right, which I may not, because it's just talking about the war in Russia. All right. But the lack of access comes from these sanctions, okay, that these nations are throwing on each other, and also the war, okay, because in this article it says that, Russia blocking off some of the Black Sea, okay, which hurts the exports because Ukraine is a big exporter of fertilizer, according to this article. It's causing shortages throughout the globe, okay, but so lack of access is a problem for this year. It says next year's problem or catastrophe about a lack of food. So a lack of food is coming. All right, it's not. It really hasn't hit America, but the price gouging of things in America is gone up because of so-called lack of access to food. Okay. All right. Gutierrez also noted that the World Food Program estimated that the ripple effect of the war could contribute to 47 million people facing food insecurities this year. All right, and that's all coming from the Lord. Okay, the Lord is doing that. He's turning this place upside down. Okay. All right, so that's in regards to famine. Let me get something in Jeremiah. Where's Isaiah? Yeah, where's Jeremiah? All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 44 in verse 13. It says, "For I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt." All right, Egypt. This is the new Egypt that we're living in. All right, and I have punished Jerusalem. All right, and look at how the Lord, set up Jerusalem. Okay, to be destroyed. All right, by wars. Okay. All right. Look at 70 A.D. This is before what I'm reading in Jeremiah is before 70 A.D. Okay, but you can look into history into 70 A.D. how the Romans, circled around Jerusalem, and then they circled around Jerusalem, and they caused the people to either starve to death. All right, just through their war tactics, they caused so many things that happened to the town of Jerusalem. All right, so the same thing is gonna happen here to Babylon. Okay, it says, "As I have punished Jerusalem by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence." Okay, the sword is going to go into these thermonuclear missiles that's going to hit Babylon, man. Okay, also the insurrection within each state, all right, amongst the people. Okay, the people versus the military, and the people versus the people within themselves, the people versus the law enforcement. All right, all that's going to happen here within is all going to bring down America, man. Okay, and the Lord's going to touch it with these nuclear missiles as the final, as the final, plague. Okay, all right. So I'm going to read this next article. See if I can find it again. Trying to see where it was. Give me a second. All right. This ain't the article either. Let me find it. All right. All right, so this is from the New York Post, and it came out on May 23rd, right? And brothers and apostles already did videos on this. But it says Russia warns it will soon have 50 brand new Satan II nuclear missiles. All right, it says the Kremlin continue threatening the West with potential nuclear strikes by boasting that Russia's arsenal would soon include 50 new missiles dubbed Satan II by NATO. It says Dmitry somebody, head of Russia's state space agency, uh, and an ally of Putin, warned Sunday that the new Samarak 2 ICBM missile, which measures 14 stories tall, will soon be combat ready. All right, and we want these missiles to be combat ready because we want to get out of this place. And us getting out of this place coincides with the destruction of Babylon. All right. Um, this ain't the article, but I'm gonna keep reading it. It says, I suggest that aggressors speak to us more politely. Being prideful, bragging. He also tweeted a video showing a crater measuring 26 feet deep and 66 feet in diameter that was caused by the blank Satan 2 missile at a crew of missile test range in Russia. All right, so meaning blank that didn't have the warhead in it. All right, I'm assuming that. It says when equipped with a nuclear warhead such a crater at an enemy target, geographic target would be very, very large and very deep and radioactive. All right, just like last week, I believe it was, did a video on missile talks and then did some of the went into some of the definitions in regards to nuclear missiles, and radioactivity was one of them. And it says the Dimitri got warned, and not just one, but exactly as many as the most powerful nuclear missiles in the world will deliver to the territory of a hateful enemy. Let me see. And then here we go. Got pictures and images of the missile. All right, that they bragging about. And these things are coming, man. All right, these things are coming. Let me get Marty and Jeremiah. So let me go keep reading into some more into Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah 51 and 1. Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them, and rise up against me a destroying wind, and I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. All right, and these fanners going into these missiles, man. Okay, because those are the things that's going to empty the land of Babylon. I just read in this article how this guy is bragging on the missiles, and it says when equipped with a nuclear warhead, such a crater at an enemy geographic target, would be very, very large and very deep and radioactive. Okay, so without the nuclear warhead in there, it was 26 feet deep and 66 feet in diameter. All right, just imagine with the warhead being in there and the spirit of the Lord on these missiles is what they're gonna do. Just you gotta imagine these things, man. Okay. And against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifted himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. All right, destroy all the hosts of Babylon. All the armies, the navy, the military, the navy, the army. All right, the air force. All right, well, whatever else military might that they have. All right. Verse 4 says, thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. All right, verse 5 says, for Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power of Yahweh of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. It says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He shall render unto her a recompense. Okay, you got to remember what Babylon has done to you, Jakes, man, and what they're constantly doing now, man. Everything is propagated to destroy you. Okay, you so-called Negro Latinos and Native American Indians, because it goes into the hatred. All right, back in the womb. Okay, with Jacob and Esau. All right, verse 7, it says, behold, Salakia, Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the nations, the earth drunken. It says here, the nations have drunken her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And then you look on this word mad, and my footnotes, it says deranged. All right, I'm going to get this word deranged. Just look it up. It says mad or insane. It says mentally unsound. Okay, and this world is mentally unsound because of the things that Esau Edom is pushing out, man. Okay, you got the ABC gang, you got the chemicals that's being sprayed in the air. All right, the food is poisonous. Okay, the education system, the economic system, which is falling. All right, all these things make a person mentally unsound. All right, and that this whole setup by him, all right, is ordained by the Lord, of course. Also, is to have you so-called Negro Latinos and Native American Indians on to keep you at the bottom. All right, and you make mentally unsound decisions by going out there killing your brother. All right, instead of standing up against your oppressor. It says. All right. It says unable to think or act in a normal or logical way, especially because of severe mental illness. All right, and that's what Esau Edom has done to the world, man. All right, caused the nation to be deranged. All right, it says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. Verse 9 says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one to his own country, for a judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up to the skies. All right, that article that I wanted to read that I can't find anymore, when it was going into when it was going into these nuclear missiles, and this same two missile by Russia, it was saying that the smoke cloud or the mushroom cloud from the same two missiles, if they hit the East Coast or the West Coast if they completely did with the four missiles, let me see. You can see the mushroom cloud from Mexico. All right, this is one of them. This is one of the articles. All right, it says this is from the Washington Times, and it came out June 1st. All right, it says a Russian lawmaker went on state TV to say President Vladimir Putin could destroy the entire East Coast of the United States with only a pair of their Samurai missiles known as the Satan II. Russian politician Alexei, whatever his last name is, then said it would take only two of their Satan II missiles to completely destroy the West Coast. According to a report from British newspaper The Sun, and then we'll scroll down. It says 4 missiles and there will be nothing left, he said. They think the mushroom cloud would be taller than a high rise. The mushroom cloud could be visible from Mexico. All right. And that's let me see. It says let me see. According to the Center for Strategic and International Studies, the Samurai missile is about 115 feet long, with a range of more than 11,000 miles. It can reportedly load up to 15 large warheads. All right. It says each nuclear warhead is more than 100 times more powerful than a nuclear bomb dropped on Hiroshima in World War II. So all this is cool and great, man. They just gotta shoot these things off, but that's gonna happen on the Lord's time. All right. But Babylon's not gonna be healed. Okay. And let me see. This is this is Isaiah 34, and I'm gonna just skip to 4. And it says, all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth from the vine, and as a fallen fig from the fig tree. Okay, so you gotta just imagine this whole place, Babylon, just being burned to smoke, burned with fire from nuclear missiles from Russia, from all these other countries, China, South America. I mean, South Korea, Iran, and wherever these other nations. The Lord wants for them to shoot off on this place, man. It says, and then the smoke cloud's gonna be high, man. Okay, it's gonna be high. It's gonna be really high. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. And this place, America, is Idumea, man. It's Babylon. Okay, this is where the Edomites rule this world. Okay, this age. But nonetheless, okay, this place is going to be destroyed, okay? And it's going to be destroyed by fire, man. And this is what we want, but you got to want to get up out of this place, all right? When the scriptures say flee out of this place, it don't mean get up and leave Babylon. It goes into fleeing spiritually, mentally, not continue to partake in this place, okay? I'm going to get a little more scriptures in Joel, get 2 more scriptures in Joel. Let me see if there was any more to read in this article. All right, here it says Mr. Putin has claimed that they could penetrate current anti-defense missiles. Okay, and I'm gonna get something to coincide that in the book of Joel. Okay, because the Lord's Spirit is gonna be on these missiles, man. This is Joel chapter 2 and verse 7. It says, they shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the walls like men of war, and they shall march every one on his way, and they shall not break their ranks. So no missile defense system is going to cause them to go left or go right. They're going to be straight in that same path whatever country the Lord shoots them from. They're going to come back and come down in the same rank. All right, foul or line, however you want to see it. All right, they're going to hit their target, man. All right, it says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one on his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run up the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses, and they shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And Yahweh shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great. For he is strong that executeth his word, going back into his word, being faithful and true, like we read earlier in 2nd Esdras. For the day of Yahweh is great and very terrible, and who can abide? Nobody, man. That's why you got to have faith and confidence and trust in the Lord so he can deliver you out of here. But Lord Williams edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Yahweh Kakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who want to teach well. And I want to say shalom to those full that Kwame Yasharal and Mawafal Ball. Shalom.